How's it going, guys? It's Eclipse here, and today, once again, we are looking at the weekly news for World of Tanks console. This has got everything included within this week's kind of updates and everything regarding anything new coming to the game within this video. So we're going to have a look right now and go through everything. There's quite a lot actually this week compared to usual. We've got a new tank, we've got a new operation that's coming out, and also we've got a couple of new patch notes that we'll go over. So first off, obviously the season is continuing. It's until the 9th of March, so we've got a little while yet, just over a month, well, 5 weeks I believe left. And I've already completed the Battle Pass. I did that within like 4 days of it being released or something silly like that. I was playing quite a lot, but it's, I don't think it's going to be hard for you guys to pick that up those 100 levels and the premium tanks associated. I've done a couple videos on the premium tanks that you can actually get from the season pass if you want to look at those after this video. But other than that, we'll get straight on to what we actually have new coming up. So we've got keycards obviously still in the game until the 23rd of February, so I think we've got 3 weeks of those left. So if you want to pick up keycards, then yeah, definitely with the current drop rates that are associated, they're still the same as last week. So if you had a look last week in my video, then I covered all of the different tanks that you could get in those. So yeah, they'll be continuing until the 23rd of February, at which point they'll be like re-rolled where they put different tanks within the keycard. So, if you want to potentially get a different mix of stuff, maybe hold off until after the 23rd of February where they bring in some different tanks within the kind of random generated tanks that you can get. We've got the Tanker Reward Sweepstake, which is continuing until the 9th of March, and that's basically to do with your yearly status. You'll basically win a reward where you get 10,000 US dollars worth of gaming setup gear type stuff, and that's just to do with I believe they pick a random winner within a bracket for your yearly reward status, which you can actually get on the Wargaming website if you go to console.worldoftanks and then click on this reward section up here. It will show you what you've currently got. If we have a look right now, I'll just show you what mine is. So yearly progress has just reset apparently, which I'm surprised about. So yeah, there we go. So moving on, we have got the Operation Assignment Charlie. So this is the third one in the series, obviously, hence the Charlie. And you'll be able to pick up quite a few different things. It's basically just silver and gold, and we'll just look at the exact stages right here. This, you've got a week to complete it, which is going to be more than enough time. I think you have to earn, what's that, 2, 10, 15, 25, 40, 60,000 XP in total, and you'll receive about 90,000 silver and 400 gold in total. So yeah, that's basically what you can do. So you can play any tank, any tier between 3 and 10. Premiums, whether you want to play premium or non-premium, it doesn't matter. Just earn 60,000 total XP in any number of battles, and you'll get the 400 gold. So if you're a few gold away from getting a tank that you want, then do this over whilst you're playing in the next week. It shouldn't be a problem. If you just play 4 games each day with your times 2 XP boost, you'll be able to get that done really quickly. So you don't have to grind this out. It's literally just a way of wargaming, just giving you gold for free whilst you play, so long as you play a decent amount. The next thing that we'll go over is the new tank, which is coming in. It's similar to the M41 Walker Bulldog, so the light tank. This is a new one though, and it's the M41D light tank. So it's Chinese, it's a tier 8, and if we have a look at the actual article on this, we can find out whether I think it's going to be any good in game, and whether you should probably spend that 6,900 gold to pick it up in game. should you wish to get it. Obviously you can get the different loaded primed ultimate stuff on it, but to be honest with you, I would never recommend ever buying the primed ultimate or anything else, because it's just not worth it. They say that there's a 10% saving, but when you think about what you're getting 7 days of premium, which is one of the worst ways to buy premium time. So you're probably spending 40% more gold on getting the premium account time. So yeah, is it worth it? No, in my opinion. Obviously if you want to pick up premium time as well, then go ahead, but I'd rather just get premium when it's on discount for the year, and also just get the standard version of the tank. Obviously the higher one up, you get 30 days of premium. Not particularly fantastic. I think that it's a bit of a rip-off, and then you have to pay 500,000. Well, you'll get 500,000 silver even as well, which is just another way to bump up the cost in gold for charging you extra. And buying silver with gold is never a thing I'd ever recommend. So yeah, nothing I'd recommend here. And then basically the top bundle, you pay an extra nearly 5,000 gold for what's that? 500,000 silver, 500,000 silver, 500,000 silver, and another 500,000 silver. So you get what? 1, 2, 3. So 2 million silver's worth of stuff, only 500,000 actual silver. So if you want to sell this, you only get half the value. So you're only going to get 1.25 million silver and 30 days of premium time for 5,000 gold. So yeah, not what I would go for, in my opinion. Yeah, nothing I would look at buying other than the standard version if you want to get the tank. So what's the stats like? This is what it looks like in game. And these are the current stats of the vehicle. So matchmaking, obviously it's not preferential, so you'll be playing up to tier 10. Also when, obviously that doesn't count when it's +1, -1. But you'll get 50% bonus silver, so on your normal tank you get 100% silver, so just the normal standard amount. And then when you get a premium tank, it tends to be 50% extra silver when you play in the tank. You'll get 10% bonus XP. You get 1100 hit points, which is, like standard light tank. I'm pretty sure the Walker Bulldog gets 1100. 780 horsepower, speed limit is 65. Not the fastest light tank in the game, but yeah, it can certainly move. It's kind of more like a medium, I always think. The Walker Bulldog is like, it's not really small enough to be considered a light tank, just because it's generally a big box of armor, and it doesn't really get up to top speed very quickly from what I've seen. This one might be slightly different, but we will have to see in game what it's like. We don't know that currently, but I'm hoping it'll be alright. The whole traverse speed, 54 degrees a second, pretty fast, not going to lie. Turret traverse, 50 degrees a second. So to do a whole rotation is probably going to take you about 3.4 seconds to turn 360 degrees if you're using your turret and whole traverse. So you're not going to get out traversed by very many tanks in the game. Obviously you're a light tank, so you wouldn't expect that, but if an enemy light tank tries to circle you, they're not going to be able to, is basically what I'm trying to say. You've got no armour whatsoever, 25mm on the front, 25mm at the side, and 19 at the back of the hull. 25 on the side, 25 on the front, and 25 at the back of the turret. So yeah, not bouncing anything in this tank is pretty much just a hit point box for anyone else that shoots at you. 9 degrees of gun depression, weird number, I know, but that's decent, especially for a Chinese tank. You know what they're like. You get 19 degrees of elevation, okay penetration, I'm not going to lie, 192, and then going up to 227, so you should be able to pen most tier 10s frontally with 227, so you shouldn't have to worry too much. You do get HE rounds with 38mm of pen, but that's not going to really go through anything that you meet other than potentially light tanks. 170 alpha damage on the standard and premium ammo, and 260 on the HE. Really good aim time and accuracy on this thing at 1.5 seconds and 0.33, so that's going to be absolutely fantastic for, if you put on the extra perks, you can probably get the accuracy down to like 0.26 or something crazy. I'm not entirely sure yet, but obviously you can test it out with the accuracy buffs that you can get on. You can probably put vert stabs on it as well, or the equivalent now. So yeah, plus 20% accuracy I expect, which will make this thing an absolute god on the move, I expect. Decent rate of fire. So you're going to probably have, what's that? You're probably looking at 2,400 DPM base, which can probably go up to about 2,800 if you use the correct equipment to boost the rate of fire. You've got a 4.3 second reload time, really quick, and obviously when you boost it, it's going to get lower. It's not going to ever go higher than this. You've got 65 rounds, so that's not going to stop you, and the view range is 400 meters, and signal range is 745. View range is actually pretty standard for a light tank at this tier, slightly higher than the other Chinese light tanks at tier 8, and signal range doesn't really matter, to be honest. This tank, what's it going to be like in game? I reckon it'll actually be quite nice. I think that this tank is going to be fairly competitive. I don't think the Walker Bulldog is necessarily the best light tank in the game, but I do think that this one could be slightly better maybe. But yeah, I think if you're into light tanks, then you might want to pick this one up. But if you're not really particularly fussed on light tanks, or you want to try and get into light tanks, this probably isn't the one for you. If you like fast mediums, then probably this one might be something more your way inclined. Just because I feel like, because of the size and the speed and the way it actually gets up to top speed, usually. It's probably more like a really fast medium tank / really slow light tank. It's not that slow, but you get my drift. I'm kind of rambling here, but I think, yeah, it's definitely worth picking up if you're a light tank player, or you're like your really fast mediums. It's not going to be super competitive. I think it's going to be, pretty average in terms of a light tank, but if you want to pick it up, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you, but I just thought I'd give you my opinion on it and kind of things that you might like. Definitely don't get it if you're wanting a high alpha damage light tank though, because it does only have 170 damage per shot. Right, moving on, we've got the 50% savings on all consumables. That's on for another 2 weeks, so you should be able to actually grind out some silver in that time, because of the silver apocalypse that we've got going on right now. And then we've got some bundles that I will go over and just give you my opinion on those. If you want to skip ahead to the patch notes, then go ahead. I won't mind. But these are the different things in the bundle. 2020 Rewind multi-tools. So we've got the American Tier 8 pattern, the medium tank, the M48A2. This is something I don't think it's particularly amazing. Also think that the General is kind of like that Skoda tank. I think the Wargaming website is having a bit of a brain fart at the minute. But yeah, they're definitely having a server problem. But I'll just give you kind of an overview anyway. So what do I think is the best bundle? I would definitely say the Precision and Power, just because the E25 is pretty broken and the Iron Rain is yet again pretty broken. These two are probably my favourite one of the three, or one of the 4 different bundles that we've got this week. The Capture King Tiger is a pretty average tank. It's just another King Tiger, to be honest. If you don't like the normal and don't get it, it will probably make you a decent amount of silver like the other King Tigers do. But yeah, nothing to write home about here. The T32A prototype, just an auto-loading T32, could be interesting to play, but unless you're not really a fan of autoloaders, or you don't really like heavy tanks, then I definitely wouldn't recommend buying this bundle. It's quite expensive as well. So yeah, nothing particularly amazing here. Nothing that I would stand out as being really, really competitive in game. And then we have the other bundle, which is the Nomad Somua SM and the Dreadnought KV2. Now this genuinely is probably the second best / the best. It's probably a really nice bundle if you haven't got either of these tanks. The Dreadnought being so overpowered, honestly, at tier 7. It's a KV2 that has heat pen at like 252 heat pen. It can pen, tier 10s, let alone tier 9s, at which the top tier it can meet. It does 750 alpha damage. Actually, that's a lie, 700 damage. It's just a broken tank at tier 7. So yeah, definitely would recommend picking this up if you haven't already. Going to be really annoying to see just loads of Dreadnoughts now in game at tier 7. So be aware, if you're in that kind of range between tier 5 and tier 9, you'll probably be getting stumped by Dreadnoughts in the game. And then we've got Nomad Somua SM. This is a really good French auto-loading heavy tank. Fantastic. Yeah, both of these are really good. And, if you've got 9,000 golds sitting around in your account, or you've already got them but have enough gold to buy the package, you'll get the gold value back. So yeah, really, really, these two, the heavy damage and precision and power, are the ones I would recommend out of these lot for you guys to pick up. Obviously, you can buy each premium tank on its own at a 15% saving. Not really worth it at only 15% saving, to be honest with you. Definitely wouldn't recommend picking up any of these. I'd wait for them to go on to like a 50% or a 30% if you really wanted them, because to be honest, like most of the ones that are good in these bundles are bundled together. So the precision and power are the ones that I'd say are the best, and then obviously these two. The only other one that I would maybe recommend is the General T27. That seems to be pretty good in game. But yeah, nothing particularly fantastic and to write home about in terms of picking up on the 15% savings. Then we've got the weekly deals. These are the Earthshaker Stritzfarm 102 and the Sturm VK3601H 10.5. So what is the Earthshaker? This is the Swedish medium tank at tier 8. This thing has a really high alpha damage gun, 390 normal, and then 480 pen above with your premium rounds. So yeah, it's like a Draugen in terms of the gun, but obviously it's more of like a heavy medium, using that Centurion 7/1 / Centurion 9 as it is now in game. It's kind of a bit like that. So yeah. If you like medium tanks, if you like British medium tanks, then maybe you want to pick this one up because it's fairly similar. It's just like a Swedish version of a Centurion 9. So yeah, then moving on to the Sturm VK3601H. This is the mercenary version, I believe. I don't know if it came out in Mercenaries update, but it's basically a VK3601H with a derp gun. If you want to derp around at tier 6, then this one might be the one for you to pick up, and it is only 2,000 gold. So if you've made a bit of gold during this season already, then you might want to pick this one up. But yeah, it's pretty much got no armor, to be honest. None of these tanks really do at tier 6, because most of them get super high pen anyway to deal with the tier 8s they meet, and so your armor doesn't really mean much at this tier. So yeah, you've just got a derp gun basically. We've got the update rundown stream, that's on the 2nd of February tonight, so that's at 8 o'clock GMT, so if you want to watch that, then definitely go ahead. And then we've got the insider information once again in 6 days time on the 8th of February, and that basically just goes over the stuff coming in the following day on the update day, which is a Tuesday. So what else do we have for you to talk about? So that's everything on the Wargaming website. We are going to look at the forum update preview information, which tells us exactly what kind of other things are coming into the game. in terms of the fixes and anything like that. So we've not got a load of fixes today, but we do have a few. So it's basically, when you were in a platoon and you're in game, when you have the red and green HUD colour, which most people I think have chosen over the blue and green, and so you'll be able to see your platoon mates now on the map. They'll be yellow instead of being that green where you're like, I don't even know who my platoon mates are in game and on the map. So that's basically fixed, which is really good. It was kind of annoying to try and figure out which one of my platoon mates is who in game, and I'm glad that that's changed. We've got player tank info module and commander icons have been updated. So in game they have changed what they look like. So they're trying to make them look more what they should actually be like, because it's quite difficult to actually display what they were. I don't really know why they messed about with what the icons look like, to be honest with you. I would have just left that normal. Then we've got all defeat/victory screen is no longer seen when accessing the post-battle results screen through the logs tab. The logs tab, you won't be able to see this, the defeat and victory screen, when you're actually going through your post-battle results screen. And then we've got tank cards now fit correctly in the filter display, because some of them were actually like slightly off of the display area, and it was kind of really annoying, even if you had like the safe zone calibrated to the smallest amount, and it just didn't work properly. So that's been fixed. The 212A model now displays correctly at all distances. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's been a few bits where the tank model just like disappears and you just see like a couple of lines of the model, but now that's been fixed on the 212A. I know on a couple of the maps actually, there's been a lot of different things where you can actually see through the map. I know that on Cliff there's quite a few different places where you can see through rocks and stuff like that. There's one on top of the hill and also on the corner at the bottom of the map, like on the left hand side. That it just shouldn't be like that. We've got the drowning and flip indicators that are no longer displays on the camera. So nothing too much there. And then they've adjusted how the matchmaker determines the eligible pool of maps to choose from. So there's always 4 map selection available. It was really annoying, constantly being in the same games. You'd literally swap from Pilsen to Himmelsdorf to Pilsen again, and it would always be one of those things where you get in your light tank after playing Malinovka, Prokhorovka, all of the fairly decent maps, and then suddenly you're on the town map again when you pick your light tank, and I'll be like, oh no. Yeah, but hopefully that's kind of sorted out some of that, but I'm getting a bit fed up of playing the same maps. It is a bit draining, to be honest, and we have to wait until the end of February to be able to actually pick up, play some new maps. They've got an actual whole new map coming out. I've forgotten what that's called now, but if we have a look, we might be able to actually find that. I think it's this one here. This is it. Community map is called Vineyards, and it will be coming out at the end of February. This is what it looks like. Don't know what it will be like. We've also got Highway coming back as well. 2 maps coming back in, of the 70 maps that we have in the game. I'm glad that we'll have 2 more maps. Two maps. That'll be fun. Anyway, moving on from that, we'll actually look at what the personal offers you can get this week are, and they are 50% off. So you can get the Banshee Comet, fairly decent. It's just basically a Comet, but a premium version which earns more money. You get the SU-12244. That's the Tier 7 Russian premium tank destroyer. It's a sneaky boy if you put all of the camo perks on, and it's got 390 alpha with like a 6-second reload, so it's fairly decent. And then the HMH AMX 1357, which I would not really ever recommend to very many people. It's just not that competitive, and it's pretty boring to play, especially since you only do like 70 damage a shot or something like that. I have got it myself. I think it's actually 85 damage a shot. You do have a decent clip potential, but you have to fire 10 shots to actually be able to do the damage. And you don't get that many opportunities where you can all-in someone for all of your clip of damage. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really rate that tank very much. So yeah, I think I'd like these two. I might even actually get the Banshee Comet, depending on how much gold it is when it's reduced at 50%, just because I like British mediums. So that's pretty much everything for today. I've covered it. Yeah, we've got everything. We've looked at a couple of the new maps that might be coming out, or are coming out, the 2 ones. We've gone over all of the different bundles. We've had the deals of the week. We've got the personal offers. We've had a look at the operations that are coming out. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I hope you guys found it informative, and if you want to leave a like, then please do that, as it really helps me out. If you want to see more news videos every week covering everything to do with World of Tanks, then subscribe. And then also, if you want to watch some gameplays, I've also got more content on that. If you want to look back at any of the previous updates, then go ahead. I should probably link last week's update in the videos right about now. And then we've also got a couple of guides that you might want to check out if you're newer to the game. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I hope you guys come back to see some more videos later on. And goodbye.